I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to yet another video. Today we're going to talk about Mbappe. Is he still worth it? Of course, I did a video, when did I do it? Last night, whether I thought Neymar was still worth it. Over 1,000 games on Neymar, and I'm still using him, so you can kind of get at what I'm trying to say in that video, but feel free to go watch it if you want the full sort of explanation. This is a little bit different, though, because the Mbappe that I use is actually the Team of the Year nominee, which is an unbelievable 400,000 coins compared to the, 90, 100k-ish that this Mbappe costs. And the difference is, it really is negligible. There's almost no difference whatsoever. There's like 1 point here or there. It really isn't a card that anyone should own and be like tradable, if you will, because there's just no need to have that +1 here or there and have to spend 300,000 coins more for the privilege. So yeah, if you have that, it's tradable. The Team of the Year nominee. I just ship it off. I really would. There's absolutely no need to have that over the base. Now, when I looked at the price of the base, because obviously I've been using the Team of the Year nominee for over 1,000 games as well, why have I got that? By the way, I don't know. It's the record more than anything. But I was shocked to see how much cheaper he was, because I always keep tabs on the price of the Team of the Year nominee, but I never really consider what the cards around him are, because I'm not going to upgrade it to the 91 for another 400,000 coins for, to be fair, a much better upgrade. Like, if you are thinking of getting a better Neymar, going for the 91 or the 92 is definitely the way forward if you don't have a crazy amount of coins. I mean, of course, if you've got the 2-3 million, go for the Team of the Season, right? The FUT birthday, incidentally, is up with about 4 to 5 million, and the reason he is over a 1.5 more expensive than the Team of the Season is because he has a 5-star weak foot, which sounds ridiculous, but actually does kind of make sense if you're a top player looking for the edge, I guess. But the question of today's video is going to be, is 89 rated Mbappe still worth picking up? Not necessarily is he worth 100k, but is he worth picking up? Is he still worth having in your team? There are countless amounts of cards that are better than this guy on paper, but because Mbappe is one of those, I wouldn't even say overused, he's just one of those sort of cards that fit the meta, and you get him, you face him nearly all the time, whether it be the base, whether it be the nominee or the informed FUT birthday, Team of the Season, Team of the Year, whatever it may be, you always play against him. He's in nearly every other weekend league team. So if we go through his stats very briefly here, 96 acceleration and sprint speed, 92 agility, 90 ball control, 91 dribbling, and then everything else is a little bit There's not an awful lot to suggest that this card should be 89 rated. He's actually only an 87 rated striker, points per position. And his best position is actually 88 rated, and that's left wing or right wing. Chem style wise, to be honest, it entirely depends on what you want. Marksman, for example, is not a bad one. Takes him to a 92 rated striker. Gives him a nice agility, reaction, ball control, dribbling boost. Takes the finishing to 99. Positioning goes to 94, which, to be fair, is good enough anyway. You don't improve that passing, which didn't really used to be too much of a problem. Now it kind of is, because the possession game is the way forward. If you are a counter-attacking player, because there's two types of players in FIFA, right? Sorry for hitting the table. There are two types of people in FIFA. They are those who soak up pressure and hit on the counter, and then there are those who just pass it. And whichever one of them you may be, there are pros and cons to this Mbappe. So, for example, if you are a passer, he doesn't have very good passing. You may need to give him some sort of, like a Deadeye, for example, which gives him 92 short passing, 90 vision. Turns him into a better cam and sort of centre forward than it does a striker, but still gets the job done if you are a possession-based player. If you're not, and you're pure counter-attack, then maybe something like a marksman or even a sniper would work in your favour, because that obviously then boosts up the finishing, positioning, but also makes him a little bit quicker in terms of his agility and his reactions and his ball control. To be fair, I would probably go with a marksman if I was going to go with anything, because you do get that shot power, albeit 5, but you do get a shot power and long shot boost. So, and of course the strength boost can't really hurt either. But yeah, I'd go for that. Now, it's going to come down to a few things, really. I explained it in the Neymar video yesterday. The feeling you get from these cards can and probably is going to be a little bit different than that of I used him as an example yesterday, Fuenzalida, for example. I'm going to try and get someone who's actually similar to Mbappe. But the cards that come out that are incredibly high, like Giovinco, for example, is maybe not a card that you can directly compare to Mbappe, but it's one that Footbin does, which is interesting. But Giovinco, he's a 92 rated team of the season. I don't really know his price, so I'm going to go check that now. He's still coming in at around, he's really cheap actually. He's about 70 to 80,000 coins, which is really, really cheap for that card. But even though he's 92 rated, and on paper that card has 90s everywhere, 4-star, 4-star, high, medium. He's 5'4", so he's considerably shorter than Mbappe, but he's got 97 acceleration, unbelievable agility, balance, ball control, and all the rest of it. There is an argument to be made that that card is going to be very, very good, and for the price point, you should be looking at it. But this Mbappe card, for whatever reason, just feels better. You can argue against that if you want, and that's obviously down to your opinion, your prerogative, and all that good stuff. But I just feel like these type of cards, Mbappe, Messi, Neymar, they have that feel to them. And like I said, I'm not going to dwell on it too much because we talked about it in the Neymar video yesterday. They have a specific feel that makes them just a little bit better than whatever other card EA release. Icons have it as well. They get away with a little bit more. They get the favourable bounces. And it's one of the reasons why this card is still, to this day, 100,000 coins. Because if I went and had a look at a similar player who's been in the game since the beginning, who is still kind of like a little bit sort of suited to the game in terms of the meta, but isn't actually in that bracket of player. I'm trying to think. I can't really think of a high rated card. I mean, you've got like an 83 Lucas, who's like a B-Tech Mbappe to a certain extent. Rashford's another one of those that would have held a relatively high price, I'm sure, for quite a while. I'm struggling to think of one. I mean, if you go and straight up have a look at like Cavani, for example, who's nothing like him, but he's 88 rated. He's basically the same rated as Mbappe. He is currently valued at literally the value of an 88 rated card, which is just under 30,000 coins. Why doesn't a player like that hold their value, despite the fact that on paper they're probably better in front of goal than Mbappe? It's because he doesn't fit the game properly. Mbappe suits this game beautifully, especially with a chem style. And even now, to this day, is still banging in goals left, right, and centre. Now, I went out and bought this base Mbappe on a different account to that of the one that I have Neymar on, and the account that I have the Team of the Year nominee on, purely to try him out, aside from the Team of the Year nominee. In all honesty, I feel absolutely no difference between this and the Team of the Year nominee that I've used for over 1,000 games. It is literally the same card. If people say otherwise, then I'm not saying they're lying, because they might not be. Certain cards feel different on other accounts. I've got two different goalkeepers, right? Oblak on the account that I have the Team of the Year nominee, Mbappe, and I've got my Neymar and all the rest of it. He punches everything, and he annoys the hell out of me. On my Road to Glory account, he catches a lot more, he doesn't punch that often, and he doesn't flap at the ball. So he plays completely differently across two different accounts. It makes no sense. I don't get it. But yeah, so when people say, oh, the Mbappe that I have feels so much better than the base, I'm not going to argue with you, because it could be true for all I know, right? But this card is still usable. Can you take it into champs? It does kind of depend on what players you have around him. Kind of depends on the team that you're running. And of course, if you do have that Team of the Year nominee and you're thinking, I could maybe do with that 300k and put it somewhere else and then just get the base Mbappe, I would stand by the decision for you to do that. I would back you all the way. I think that you are in a position where if you give him a marksman, for example, you've still got a 92 rated striker that is unbelievably well suited to the meta and will still score loads of goals for you. Can't really explain why this card is still so good, because there are cards out there that have far better stats in terms of like Team of the Season cards. Even that Giovinco is so much better than this card, but I would much rather have Mbappe in the team, obviously for links as well. The only real struggles with it are the stamina. Stamina isn't great. Composure can come under fire a few times. It's nothing too crazy, but it is definitely a case of I'm through on goal and I'm confident I'm going to score, but there are the odd sort of situation and opportunity where he's going to just scuff the shot, miss the target. It's not often. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's sort of, it's in the back of my mind that it might happen. The other thing, of course, is passing just isn't great. If you are a possession-based player like myself, you may struggle with that. Even though I've gone with a marksman, I can definitely understand why people would want to stick a dead eye on him, because you'd want to improve that passing. But aside from that, for 100,000 coins or less, this card is still fantastic. Do I recommend it? Yes, I do. Now, if you've got better strikers that you're happy with in the team, then obviously there's no need to sort of go backwards. But if you are, I don't know, maybe you're a casual player, maybe you have been considering Mbappe for a while and you're still just wondering whether he's still good enough to use. Maybe you've got some coins and you want to build a fun team. Mbappe bundles his way through things he shouldn't. He scores goals he potentially shouldn't. He's still unbelievably quick. 5-star skills. Good little weak foot. Very rarely misses the target with that. Just an all-round fun player. Still 100k, but definitely worth it. If you use him or you have used him, do you think he's any good? Do you still use him in Weekend League, for example? Let me know in the comments. If you have enjoyed the video, though, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.